Well, hello again, Ty Whittingham, and we are going to talk about some Google Ads. It's Friday, and today's theme is, should I launch a Google Ads campaign on a Friday? Well, the reason that I even asked that question is because there are so many rumors that go on about Google Ads. There's not necessarily, you can't fact check people. The accounts are private, and people can really say anything about what they feel are best practices for managing and optimizing Google Ads. And the thing is, you really just have to test it yourself to determine whether or not it will be something that works for you in your account. Even things that we could say, no, that's a rumor, that's a myth, that's not necessarily true. There will always be a use case to where that is true. So I'm not going to take a hard stance for or against anything, any particular strategy ever, really. But in this particular case, I do want to dispel the myth about not wanting to launch a campaign over the weekend. Because in my opinion, there's absolutely nothing wrong with launching a campaign over the weekend. In fact, sometimes it's encouraged. But there's a few steps that you're going to want to make sure that you heed in order to give yourself the highest probability of success. So let's go into the screen share here and let's talk about this. First, I want to go to my YouTube channel and say, thank you guys, whoever you 15 are, that are my first 15 subscribers. My channel has really only been active for, well, it's the 21st, and the oldest video that I have is 3 days ago. So thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you as my viewers. Hopefully the content that I put out is of such a quality that you guys want to keep coming back because you learn more and more. So going back to my rules and my philosophies about launching new campaigns, how to protect yourself, because if you've ever launched a new campaign before, you have likely seen the scenario to where you launch the campaign and then all of a sudden it spends a whole bunch of money really fast and you don't get any results out of it. There's a couple reasons why that happens. One is because your cost per click was just way too high. Two, because the targeting that you chose wasn't the best targeting for whatever you're trying to sell. Those are two of the primary reasons. The third is because of the devices. All the traffic might have been bought on mobile devices, whereas inherently by the nature of your product, it probably yields more effective conversions if the person has access to a desktop. But we're going to cover all of those. First thing we're going to do is, excuse me, I had a wonderful lunch with my friend Greg Judd at this place called Siegfried's. It is a German deli in downtown Salt Lake City. And I am so full that I just burped. And if I do again, it's so rude. I'm sorry. But all these videos I just make straight through. I don't edit them or done anything. But shout out to Greg Judd on that one. Thank you so much. He actually paid today because I beat him in golf this morning. But back to it. Let's talk about bid strategies first. So the reason there's a handful of different bid strategies available in Google Ads. I just read an article this morning that they're consolidating the bid strategies and removing target search page location and target outranking share. Makes sense to me because I never really use those anyways. But for somebody who doesn't necessarily know everything about Google Ads and the different strategies to choose from, let me just tell you what I believe will be the best options for you. So first of all, your urgency. There's the top two things, top two lines here are based on variables that you have to deal with. So if the urgency of you getting traffic trumps the budget, meaning like, let's say you work for a big company and they just have to have the ads start today, like no matter what, and they have to spend $500 today or $1,000 today. In that scenario, you are likely going to want to use manual CPC. Because if you use manual CPC, you can just say, boom, that's what I want my CPC bid to be. And then anytime Google thinks it can get a click for that, then it will, and you'll most likely begin getting traffic immediately. The problem with choosing manual CPC to start out is that margin of victory is so thin in online advertising, Google Ads in particular, that once you're really being competitive, 10 or 20% that can be the game changer for you. And so when we're trying to guess at what our initial CPC bid should be, there's a very high probability that could be 20, 30, or 40% lower than what we set initially, and still be able to fill our budget and get the clicks that we need and actually drive much better performance. So that brings me to my next point, where if you have higher budget sensitivity than urgency, you're going to want to use the bidding strategy to maximize clicks with a cap on your CPC. So I'll just show you what this looks like here. Maximize clicks is the bidding strategy. And we have here, oh, that is my blur tool. Just go back. But yeah, we just have this right here. So I currently have a $13 max CPC limit set on this particular campaign. And the way that you're going to find this, the way that you're going to know what your CPC bids should likely start out to be is simply with the keyword planner. The keyword planner is a great tool to both find keywords and get competitive research. Let's just do something so super simple for shoes for men. That's like the default that anybody goes to when they're trying to give an example. So we see that we have 67 cents on the low end, $2 on the high end. So you typically have to be pretty strong when you're launching a new campaign out the gate. And so pick a number for your manual CPC that is higher to the high range, or else you may not get traffic. If you just went out the gate with 90 cents or 67 cents, then you might only get like 1 or 2 clicks throughout the day. And for most accounts, that's not going to cut it. So if you have high budget sensitivity, take an error with a manual CPC bid that is closer to the high bid range, where if you have more of a budget sensitivity, let's say you're starting your own business, you own your own business, you're in the marketing department of a small business, and you may only have a couple $1,000s for the month, it really, really, really sucks to burn a good portion of that budget within the first couple days with no results, because then you're basically left without much to play with for the rest of the month. So if you have budget sensitivities, then set a use maximize clicks with a maximum CPC that is near the high bid range. If you don't use a cap on maximum CPC when using max clicks, you may be sorry, because I have seen the click price be inflated 4 or 5 times over what the strong recommendation would be. And that's just because the primary goal of the algorithm is to spend its entire budget during the day, during the time span that it's allowed throughout the day. And so often it will just bid very aggressively so it can get that click and fill those budgets. That's what Google wants. Google wants to be able to fill the budgets. The second thing that they want is they want your ads to perform, because if your ads perform, then you keep buying more and more of them. But this will automatically, maximize clicks will automatically begin to lower your CPC bid for you, so you don't have to keep checking back in and wasting a lot of your time doing. You can do more important things. All right. So starting out, high urgency to get the campaign live and getting clicks, use manual CPC based on the high bid. Budget sensitivity, then go ahead and use max clicks with a cap. I'm going to say just say no to conversion-based bidding. That means no enhanced CPC, no target CPA, and no maximized conversions to start out. There are rare cases where you have high conversion volume. There's an exception for everything in Google Ads. And so I will reiterate that I won't ever take a hard stance on anything, but the hard stance that I am taking is that if you don't believe that based on your product, you could get at least, let's just say 5 conversions within your budget. Within what, no, let's say 10. If you can't get at least 10 conversions within the budget that you are allocating to the campaign, and you won't ever know what your cost per conversion will be going into the campaign, but you'll have kind of a ballpark. Leads are always like, if they're in the cheap range, they'll probably be about $20 per lead. If they're in more like the B2B type leads, then those are in the $100-ish range. If it's like app installs or something that happens with a much higher frequency, like downloading of a white paper perhaps, then you might have a $5-ish conversion, $10 conversion. And if that is the case, if you have a conversion that can happen, or you predict that it should be able to happen at least 10 times within your budget, then go ahead and start with a conversion-based bidding strategy like target CPA or maximize conversions. And I won't even talk into more details about the strategy of doing that. But that is really the only case that I can think of to where it would be advantageous to start with conversion-based bidding if you had a budget that was able to be at least 10 times what your conversion volume is within a day. So we already talked about this. Use the keyword planner for all CPC estimates. Okay, so some other tips for new campaign success here. The keywords, we'll only talk about search right now. Have another video for display or video later. But when you're talking about keywords in search and you're launching a new campaign, be very mindful to not have keywords that are 2 words or less, because those just can match to so many different types of searches. That going back to our bullseye theory, if you have those searches that are like, hey, these are super good and these are likely to convert, versus the searches that are very generic, the very generic searches trump the high converting searches by 10 or 20 or even 100x. And so you very likely not even buy any of those really high quality searches that will likely lead to conversions if that you have short keywords in there. So keep your keywords to at least 3 or more words when launching a new campaign. Match type, that is up to you, but I am going to say when launching a new campaign, you're probably going to want to use either broad match modified or broad match with caution. Broad match with caution. Broad match modified, just because there are so many different variations of each search that people can make that you don't necessarily want to, or well, I'm imposing this on you. You don't want to spend all of your time going through the keyword planner and getting 2,000 keywords from day one, where you could get, hiking shoes. That's not a good one, because once again, that's 2 words. So that could be like how to tie hiking shoes. Whereas if somebody said like Steve Madden boots, that's very, even though Steve Madden is kind of like 1 word in itself. Gucci shoes for men, that's a very anchored search. You have Gucci, that's the brand; shoes, that's the product; men, that's the qualifier. So if you had this with broad match modified, then you'd have size 10 Gucci shoes for men, black Gucci shoes for men, all those different variations without having to actually pick those for your keywords. So with that being said, you do have to be very careful when you are using broad match modified or broad match particularly. So the word of caution is you're going to want to run through the list of keywords that show up in the keyword planner, and you're going to want to proactively create your negative keyword list. The thing that will happen is you'll be all gung-ho and you're like, yeah, I'm going to launch this new campaign. We're going to use these keywords and we're going to put it at $50 a day and then we're going to be rich. Well, you will run the campaign will start, and then you'll look at the search terms and you'll see that you bought like all this junk traffic that didn't get any conversions. And the reason that happened is because you just failed to take a look at the other recommendations that Google has for the search that you're trying to target, or searches that you're trying to target. and just proactively create a negative keyword list. So whether we do the negative keyword list on the campaign level or the account level, doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into that for this video, but you can either grab the words like this, and let's see, in the new one, they made it a little bit different to add the negatives. Yeah, so to add negatives in the new keyword planner, if you would like to, yeah, I actually don't even know. Yeah, let's stop there. I don't know how to add negatives like you used to in the old keyword planner. So just open up a notepad and start like grabbing certain words that don't work that you would like to add as negatives. And then once you have all those in the notepad, go ahead and add them to your account before you launch the campaign. And that will protect you. It will proactively add the negative keywords instead of you having to buy the click for it and spend $4 on saying, oh, I actually didn't want baby shoes for babies, men. Baby shoes for baby men. That could be shoes for men. I didn't want babies because I don't sell anything baby. And so you just add baby as a negative keyword and it's proactive. That's kind of simple. That's like on the simpler end of things that I'll teach. But I do feel like it is worth spending our time on it and kind of making sure that you understand how to proactively add negative keywords, because it will save you lots of cash if you are running your own business, and it'll make you look really good if you're running the campaigns for somebody else. So proactive negatives. All right, devices. This is the last thing that I want to touch on in this video. Don't ignore mobile. All I'm saying here is that you will likely benefit from adding a negative 50% bid adjustment to mobile by default. Regardless of what industry you're in, it's very seldomly that I ever see mobile devices converting higher than computers, or what we call computer, what Google Ads calls computers. And that's just very simple. Like, look, the screen's huge that I'm on right now. If you're on your phone, you know how difficult it can be to sign up for certain products, and you even may wait until you get to a desktop, or you might have your phone and be using your desktop at the same time and find it on your phone and then convert on your desktop. There's countless ways that could happen, but what will happen most of the time when you launch a new campaign is that your traffic, all the traffic, if we're to come in and look at the devices report, then you would find that most of your traffic was purchased through mobile devices. And so if you don't get a conversion and you bought all your traffic through mobile devices, then you're always left wondering, well, what if those people wouldn't have converted anyways? Like, was it me? Was it my ad? Was it my targeting? Was it my landing page? Well, fact is, it may have been the device. And so just make sure you be very mindful. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to this and just say, like, if we are going to come into the devices and look at like this week for this campaign, okay, we see that the spend for computers is significantly higher than it has been, about 10x. Mobile has gotten about 10% of the traffic that computers has. So just make sure to come into your devices report and be mindful of it. I have a negative 80% adjustment here for my own purposes, but when you are talking about just launching any new campaign to start, you can go ahead and put negative 50% by default and consider yourself pretty safe. Oh. That's it. So as I've said many times before, my channel is where I post the most generic information. I would implore or encourage you that if you are running a Google Ads account and you just want a hand or you want an extra set of eyes, I offer a free consultation to anybody who watches my YouTube channel. That consultation involves linking to your account, taking a look at what you have set up, providing some advice, and even optimizing and making changes to your account right there to hopefully improve the results that happen in the future. So if you would like that, help managing your account, whether it be consulting or training, whatever it may be, then there is a link down in the description of all of my videos, as well as a fairly entertaining description. I've been doing a better job writing the actual descriptions, where in the past on other channels that I've had, I leave the descriptions completely blank. So with that being said, if you found this useful, then awesome. Tell me in the comments, or go down and if you fit that category where you have an account and you want to get an account, if you want to set up a call with me, then let me know. Let me know what you want to learn. If there's any topics or subjects in particular that you would like to hear about, then let me know through the comments, and I will make videos about those in the future. Or if I'm just annoying, then tell me. I don't think I'm annoying. I know I've made videos that are annoying in the past, but these videos here, they might be boring, but I'm erring on the side of bland rather than like being the guy that is yelling and like getting all excited about everything. And the reason for that is that my favorite types of videos to watch are the ones that you can just sit down and watch for 45 minutes or an hour or a couple hours in one sitting without getting tired of the person's voice. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is just be tolerable as you consume this information. So I don't know why I go off on these tangents at the end of each video, but we need to wrap this up. So I hope you have a great day. It's Friday. I'm very excited for life and everything that it contains therein, and I hope that you are the same. Enjoy your YouTube experience, and you can go check out some other videos on my channel if you like as well. So I will see you around the internet. Bye-bye now.